So last week, 2 Chinese researchers, Yong King-jan,
Nice.
were charged in the U.S. with conspiracy, smuggling, visa fraud, and making false statements for allegedly attempting to bring dangerous fungus, Fusarium granarium, whatever, into the country. Look how happy she looks. He looks like he's going to kill somebody. She looks like she's been crying to mommy on the phone for half an hour. Both are alleged ties to Chinese government funding and the CCP. Jian, a postdoctoral researcher for the University of Michigan, was booked in the Detroit federal court. Liu, 34, is thought to be in China and cannot be extradited. All right, and that's what the photos. By the way, look at that. That looks like look at these bags. Those look like the cheapest black tar heroin dealers in the world. But the fungus is a potential agro-terrorism weapon, caused head blight in wheat, barley, maize, rice, and produces toxins harmful to humans and animals. So basically, they're trying to poison us, is what these assholes are trying to do, okay? It inflicts $1 billion in losses annually on the U.S. wheat and barley crops, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And yeah, I'm not even going to get into the second part of it, but Brandon, you hear something like this? Like, honestly, what do you...
Oh, yeah, I think we got to make an example out of them because clearly countries aren't scared about trying things like this against us. Whatever their biggest fear is, I'd say let's go ahead and do it. I mean, like whatever happened in the good old days of the like public executions or stoning people to death or, I don't know, what were the other good ones? Like maybe hanging is a little...
Well, the Romans had a really, really good one. You know what they would do?
The wheel?
The wheel is good. The Romans would take a big burlap sack and they'd put the criminal inside of it and then throw him in the river. But before they threw him in the river, they'd throw in a monkey, a snake, and a dog in the burlap sack. They tie and they throw it in the river.
Well,
could you imagine
you put all those animals in a burlap sack with someone from China, and they just have a snack before they go in the river.
Oh shit, Connor! Jesus Christ! I mean, they do eat some crazy shit over there. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, but I mean, what else is gonna like instill fear into them to not try something like that? Like if we just put them through the normal process, then I think that they'll just keep taking hacks at it. And then why are we letting them here in the first place? Too?
Listen, we did a travel ban on Yemen and Middle Eastern, Afghanistan and shit. When are we gonna stop playing this effing game with China? Like China, stop saying adversary. They are our enemy. Okay. But besides all the other shit that they've stolen and all that stuff, Wuhan, COVID, and now these assholes are coming here, bro. And by the way, they're already here. The damage has already been done. They're gonna, if they wanted. By the way, we caught these two. Imagine all the other assholes. What do you think, Connor?
Well, like even beyond just the bioterrorism was what they called it potentially. There's no indication that they were actively trying to spread this fungus to destroy crops and kill people. But that's part of the problem because we have these people coming from China where there are no restrictions on this kind of research. That's why Fauci and the NIH allegedly were able to do all their gain-of-function research over in Wuhan, even though it's banned, because China doesn't have those same kinds of restrictions. So these researchers are coming over to study in the U.S., and they're like, well, we don't have the permits, we have no approval to bring this fungus. We're just going to do it anyway. We're going to do it because we want to, and that's how China typically does science like this. And the potential effects of this can poison people, poison crops. You read billions of dollars in damage annually. This is already a fungus that exists in the U.S. that wipes out crops on a regular basis. So the fact that we have people coming from other countries to study here, and we know China steals all of our stuff. How many times do we have to hear these headlines of, such and such a researcher or member of the military, and then it's some guy with a Chinese name. It's like, he was working for China. How could we not have seen that coming?
Yeah. Rob, what do you think?
I'm actually not as concerned. I mean, it is concerning that people from China are smuggling poisonous fungi into the country. I'm more concerned about the actual Chinese government or actors on behalf of the CCP and the amount of farmland that they own in the United States, specifically near military bases. I actually asked ChatGPT. I know that we're not supposed to do that, according to Sam Cedar. He ripped Brandon a new asshole.
Sam Cedar's a douchebag.
Yeah, but he ripped Brandon for using ChatGPT. But
God forbid you use an AI thing that aggregates all the information out there and gives you factual shit. Well, he's such a Sam, you're such a bro. That guy's never been punched in his face, and that's the
No.
problem.
Oh, man.
You need a good one.
And then he
Sam.
called Brandon gay.
Yeah,
like,
where the hell did that come from?
maybe the tight
He asked
shirts.
ChatGPT.
Should've seen my-
He has literally has the most punchable face on the market right now.
Yeah, but
is
we're
Sam
not
Seaman.
I
gonna
think I
sit
just made
here-
his point better than he did, and he wanted to like an excuse to play it.
Dude, that guy's.
We're not going to sit here and take that from Hugo the health inspector from Bob's Burgers.
That's-
Yeah,
that
exactly.
too.
A loser.
So I did ChatGPT, and I asked ChatGPT, could you tell me how much farmland the Chinese government or actors on behalf of the CCP own in the United States? And it's only 1%. So that's not a lot of farmland, but it's more strategically where that farmland is placed. Currently, Chinese firms own around 10,000 acres of farmland near MacDill Air Force Base in Polk County, which is like the Tampa area here in Florida. They also own 227 acres near Camp Pendleton in San Diego. They also own 370 acres, roughly 10 miles from the Grand Forks Air Force Base in North Dakota. Chinese billionaire Sun Guangxi owns roughly 100,000 acres in the county of the Valverde County, Texas Air Force Base, the Laughlin Air Force Base. And then the final one, Chinese companies own around 50,000 acres of farmland across North Carolina, many within a 30-mile radius of Fort Liberty. So there's all of this farmland that the CCP has strategically purchased or had actors on their behalf purchase that are near these military bases. You only do that for one reason. You're not buying farmland near military bases unless you have some type of ulterior motive.
And why are we letting? How, as a United States government, why in God's name are we letting a foreign adversary buy land near these bases? We can't do shit in China.
Yeah, Rob, can you look up real quick while you got it how much farmland the United States owns in China?
Oh, that's a great question. How much?
Even Chinese citizens don't own farmland. You're not allowed to own land as a private citizen.
Bro, it's gonna say zero.
Yeah,
There's
the government owns all the land.
Yeah,
there's
that's
no way we could buy anything. Are
That's
you
why it's
fucking
insane
crazy?
that we keep bringing people in as if they're, they're friends. They're coming, these are just researchers. Well,
You guys are right. 0%. In China, all land is either state-owned or collectively owned. Even, to your point, even Chinese individuals or businesses only lease the land. You do not outright own the farmland in China. That belongs to the Chinese government.
Yeah, or even the land your house sits on.
yeah, well, there you go. It's shocking that China treats that relationship appropriately, which is to say, we will not allow oppositional powers or anybody other than us to come take our land. But we just have this open thing. I mean, what's the Chinese program, like the 1,000 Talents program, I think it's called, where they actively recruit and basically steal people and ideas from around the world to build up their own stuff.
We sell a lot of it too.
Yeah, like we have no sense of protectionism over this. We just let whoever walk in. And Vinny, I think that this next one,
This is
kinda
like, and
clinches it.
this is the one that really pissed me the hell off. A Chinese scientist from Wuhan. Okay, I don't know if you guys remember. It was 5 years ago. Wuhan lab, where COVID came from. This chick, Cheng Han, was arrested in Detroit.
God bless you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Ni hao.
After trying to smuggle biological material,
That's Japanese.
roundworm samples in the U.S., she claimed they were plastic cups. Her devices were wiped clean. Before the trip, she had already been denied a visa twice due to shady answers about her background and research, and she was headed to the University of Michigan.
Again, the University of Michigan, same place the people with the fungus were.
Exactly. So I don't like. How is this not headline news? This chick, all right, is from Wuhan and bringing biological materials into our country. Have we not learned our lesson? Like, I don't understand how this isn't. I get the riots and I get all the bullshit that's happening right now. This should be on the top, and this should be a direct threat. We should be threatening China, like, hey, Xi Jinping. Because, by the way, they don't do anything on their own. This is all under the CCP's direction. Bro, I'm telling you right now, this is war type shit. This right here is biological warfare. Notice the word war in the warfare. Bro, I would be doing some ugly shit to China right now. If this was it, to hell with the trade talk and everything. I'm like, bro, are you trying to, let's just say, God forbid, she had, and she smuggled in, Rob, COVID-20. I don't give a shit. Pick another virus. It would start here. the breakout would happen, and then it's all over again.
Vinny, you delusional conspiracy theorist.
I know.
COVID-19 came from someone eating a bat.
Oh, my!
Not
then
from the
then guess
Wuhan
what?
Institute of
Then-
Virology.
Then I can just move on to this story because I'm full of shit then. Because this is, brother, she wiped her devices and like what, dude, bro? I'm telling you right now.
Why do you
Rob,
think he's being soft on them?
I don't fucking know, but ban travel. Like, listen to me. We lost 1 million people, maybe more, because of this fucking. I'm sorry. This lab, these people with Fauci and China and the deep state, which I believe, my opinion, it was all set up. That's Vincent Oshana's opinion. Go do your own fucking research. I don't trust anybody from China. I don't trust Fauci. I trust none of these people. I don't trust our government. I don't trust anybody. But this is absolute bullshit. Ban travel from every single. Nobody from China could come here. If you're playing this fucking game, all right, it's over. Dude, just let's pretend she did release, and what happened, and we never caught her. You know what we would say? Oh, and the moment you start criticizing China, you're racist.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say, Rob?
Well, you said, how did we not learn our lesson, or how did they not learn their lesson? We never held China accountable.
Never
So,
will.
like, I deal with this a lot with my 15-year-old. My 15-year-old goes to his mother's house, and at my house, we have very strict rules. At his mother's house, he has carte blanche. He can do whatever he wants. So there's almost like this deprogramming when he comes back to my home where I have to undo the damage
Really?
that's done over there. Yeah. But the point is that he goes over there and he gets away with murder and he doesn't ever get in trouble for anything that he does. So every time he goes over there, he knows he can get away with murder. If he doesn't do well in school, his mom will let him have his cell phone. Now he knows his dad won't let him have his cell phone, but he can go to his mom's and have access to his phone. That never changes, right? So he always knows that there is a lack of punishment or a lack of consequences at his mother's home. So he always chooses to go there. Well, that's what China's doing here. China has suffered no consequences from unleashing the COVID-19 virus on the world. There has been no repercussions for that country whatsoever. I believe there was the attorney general of the state of Missouri sued and won like $1 billion judgment that they'll never collect on.
Ever.
There's never been any consequences for China. So when you ask, well, how come China can keep doing this? Haven't we learned our lesson? Well, we never actually gave any repercussions or consequences to China. If I'm Trump, Kash Patel said on Joe Rogan the other day that they have access to Anthony Fauci's phone records during the COVID pandemic. Now, he doesn't know what's in those, and right now I've lost all faith in Kash Patel, so it's probably not, even if there is anything in there, we're not going to find out. But for me, it's like, hey, if I'm Donald Trump, in addition to the travel ban, in addition to the stances he's taking on foreign students going to Harvard, there was just an article that was written by the Wall Street Journal about how Harvard has trained so many members of the CCP or Chinese national students at Harvard. 20% of the international students that attend Harvard are from China, that they call it China's CCP party school, where they go and they learn, about they learn about American industries, they learn all about American tech, and then they leave Harvard and go back to China. At this point, we need a full ban on China. And if I'm Trump, I want a full investigation into COVID, and I want to know how that virus originated in the Wuhan lab, how it escaped the Wuhan lab, and then if it turns out that China was at fault for this, then I want to sanction the hell out of them. Forget trade deals. Let's sanction them, just like we sanctioned Russia when they invaded Ukraine. Why are we not sanctioning China and taking sanctions as an action to try and punish them and teach them, you cannot do this shit to us?
I agree. And by the way, it drives me crazy. Everybody always talks shit about Israel. Mind you, I'm critical about the government, Israel, and Bibi Netanyahu, but that's a whole different situation. Everybody always wants to talk shit about Jews control this and AIPAC and whatever. China can get away with literally murdering 1 million fucking people because of their virus, and they carte blanche, no accountability. So, like, if you're gonna talk shit about one, they better talk shit about the other. Because Rob, I don't know how these guys can get away with literally murdering all these fucking people, literally, because they started this shit. And I remember watching the videos when COVID came out, all propaganda, white vans, Chinese people in these fucking white suits, running like Asian Chinese people wearing masks, falling, like passing out on the street, but catching themselves with their hands before they fall, and then putting them in body bags. Go fuck yourself,
And
bro.
what's crazy is Trump went from being called xenophobic for instituting the travel bans during COVID, and then also being called xenophobic for continuing to hit home that it's the Chinese virus, right? China, the way he would say it.
China.
But now he's gone silent on it, which
Weird.
is really odd to me that you're not out there. That's what cost Donald Trump the presidency in 2020.
I believe
they
it.
stole it 100%. And you look, and there was election interference with the cover-up of the Hunter Biden laptop that definitely swayed a percentage of Americans that would have voted for Donald Trump had they known that the stuff on that laptop was actually real. But when you actually look at what cost Donald Trump the 2020 election, my belief is that it was COVID, because COVID allowed Joe Biden to campaign from a basement and hide his cognitive decline, which we all now know about and we called out for the past 5 years. But now it's actually people in the administration are coming out. Just this week, there are members inside of Biden's administration that are going to speak in front of the House Select Committee that is doing an investigation into Biden's cognitive decline. But if I'm Donald Trump, that is the number one focus for me, because that's what cost me the 2020 election. That's why I wasn't reelected in 2020, which ends up working out great, because now in 2024 we have the House and the Senate, so we're able to push through certain legislation that he would not have had in 2020.
Yep.
But that would be number one for me, is figuring out what happened with COVID, why this virus was leaked, and then holding those accountable so it never happens again. But when you don't teach, we got to treat China like they're a child.
Yep.
We have to punish them when they act up. And we have not done that, which allows China to go, oh, I got carte blanche to do whatever I want to this country.
Oh, great fucking point.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think happened to Trump? Because, I mean, it's not just that he's being soft. He's being soft with a ton of things that, like, that's my biggest frustration point. Like, he came in with all these, like, big threats and promises, and he's, like, doing the basic foundational things, but he's not, like, coming through on the real fundamental changes that he's promising, like, whether it's, like, getting rid of defense waste or getting rid of, like, cutting people from the CIA. So, I don't know. What do you think happened to him in the time in between when he got into office?
Got shot in the face.
Yeah.
That would do it to me, I think.
Even after that, he was still promising these things.
I think but Brandon, there's so much on his freaking plate. Like, there's so much. Think about
But
all
let's
the
be
shit.
real, though. He delegates a lot of his stuff. Like,
No, 100%. No, I'm with you on that, bro.
I'm not one of those guys that says, "Oh, the president has the hardest job in the world. Oh, he has so much on his plate." Like, no, he has somebody in place that he could delegate to for almost everything.
Oh, no, for sure. But I'm saying getting around or care, like what he cares about. I mean, what he cares about is business, because he's his legacy. Number two, still making money for when he's done, because, bro, he loves money and he's very ego-driven and he wants to be the best. And I get all that. But great question, because I'm like, how are you? China's your number one fucking enemy. China and the deep state. It's China, him. Russia to me is him and Putin or whatever. It's China's our number one fucking problem. It's the border is number two, and then it's the deep state. It's in that order. So I don't know why he's getting soft on these people. But anyway, I want to move on. So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.